It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Thursday, the 13th of October. I'm Michael Groff. A couple of dry and warm days ahead to close out the week, but we see a change in the weather pattern coming in by this weekend as an upper low swings through the state, and that will bring decreasing temperatures and increasing chances of rain, thunderstorms, and perhaps a few strong or severe thunderstorms along the way as well. So we will talk about that. Plus, the weather for next week is looking rather unsettled, perhaps, especially by the middle and latter part of the week. So, a lot going on. Let's dive in. Let's talk about it. Good morning, everybody. Let's take a look at that almanac from yesterday. 95 degrees, the afternoon high, 71 the morning low. Normal high, 91, normal low, 67. And as we take a peek out there right now, we've got 79 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew points at 45, humidity 30%, the winds are light, the barometer is steady. And the upper air look across the nation, the weather pattern just has not changed very much. We still have a persistent trough in the east, a big ridge out here in the west, and underneath that ridge, it's the old Rex block, we've got an upper low that's just sort of pinned here over the southwest, just off the Southern California coast. And eventually that will start to move east by this weekend, and that should draw moisture in here from the south and add some dynamic support for showers and thunderstorms. Taking a look at the watch warning map across the nation's midsection, look at all those red flag warnings. Yes, well, you've got windy conditions, dry weather, and that sets the stage for high fire danger from the Dakotas down through Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, and some of the adjacent states. The convective outlook for today, we've got the marginal risk of severe storms from about Virginia Beach up towards central New York around Albany. And the tropics. Now things still pretty quiet out here. We've got one wave that's coming off the African coast with a low chance of development. And we have Tropical Storm Carl in the Bay of Campeche. That is Carl with a K. And looking at the latest on Carl, this thing is still fairly heavily sheared. It is not expected to become a hurricane. This will drift south and should affect mainland Mexico. The good news for the United States is that this will not impact us here in the U.S. in any meaningful way. And here's a look at precipitation. This is valid through Thursday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix have come up here now between about 1/2 to 1 inch and a little bit more over some of those higher terrain spots. But whenever we show you this map, just remember your amount will vary. We'll get into the details of what's going on with our upcoming weather pattern here as we dive into the models, have a look at it. This is the GFS. It is the 06Z run, valid 2 o'clock this afternoon. Same story, big trough in the east, ridge in the west, our upper low just sitting there along the Southern California, northern Baja coast. So what it means for us down at the surface today, sunny sky, and another warm, although not outrageously hot day for mid-October. High temperatures in the mid to perhaps upper 90s, nothing record-breaking there. Tonight, clear sky with relatively dry air, pleasant overnight temps in the mid-60s to low 70s. And then tomorrow, same thing, sunny and rather warm with highs in the mid-90s. But as we head to Saturday, here comes that upper low. It's going to begin to nudge eastward. And now we're thinking that the rain chances should start to come in a little earlier in the day. We could even see some isolated showers here in Phoenix by the earlier mid-morning hours. And then rain will start to pick up by the afternoon along with scattered thunderstorms. Now, as this low moves in, we will see diffluent flow increasing aloft, stronger winds aloft. The lapse rates will begin to steepen, so thunderstorms are likely to develop, and a few of those storms could get on the strong to severe side. Now, this is that time of the year with the cooler air aloft. Sometimes we have those more severe weather events, those more notable severe weather events. And people have been asking in our comments section on recent videos about comparisons to previous storm systems like October 5th of 2010. Let me just say this. This storm system is not going to be like that of October 5th, 2010. That's a once-in-a-generation type of storm. And for those of you that don't know, maybe you weren't here, that was a storm system that produced several rounds of severe thunderstorms in Phoenix, and most notably, very large and destructive hail. I believe, and I could be wrong on this, but I believe it cost over $1 billion in damage to the greater Phoenix metro area, especially the North and West Valley. My grandmother's condo over there on 35th Avenue, the covered parking, it looked like someone just took a hammer and just smashed the metal covered parking there. And I mean, that's just some of the damage. It was just incredible. Skylights knocked out and the damage to cars. It was just incredible. Golf ball to baseball sized hail. Where I was over there at Studio A in Arcadia, we had dime sized hail from that storm system. Let me just say, this storm system is not comparable to that one. It is further south. It is not nearly as vigorous. If you want to see severe weather here from an upper low like that, it needs to be centered closer to Las Vegas to put us in that favorable right front quadrant. Now, that's not to say this could not produce some isolated severe storms. Again, the winds aloft are going to be increasing. We do have some pretty good lapse rates. Let me show you. This is a forecast sounding. We'll take a look at this as we turn up the geekometer here. We like to do that from time to time. This is coming off the 3-kilometer NAM, one of our high-resolution models, our convective allowing models. This is at 5 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, and we're just barely in the window for our convective allowing models now. And you do see a few things of note here. Cape values are increasing to between about 1,000 to 1,500 joules per kilogram. The winds aloft begin to increase, and the D-Cape values are rather high, so that notes with that somewhat drier air in the low levels that we could see some strong, gusty, perhaps damaging winds from any thunderstorms that develop. See the possible hazard type there on the right is marginal severe. And the other thing I want to note here is large hail with the steep lapse rates is a possibility on Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening with these storms. But I think it'll be fairly isolated, unlike the 2010 storm or October 29 of 1987 or October 14 of 1988. Unlike some of those previous storms, this should be more isolated to widely scattered in nature and not widespread. We could see the strong damaging straight line winds, and yes, maybe even a brief spin up cold air funnel or isolated tornado. But as you can see, the storm relative helicity values, the energy helicity index just does not favor any real tornadic development. The LCLs are too high for that as well. So we don't expect that. But here into the month of October, we always have to watch for a brief little spin up, and that could be possible with this. But the main impact and the thing you should take away from this before any panic, we don't like to do hype, we don't like to do clickbait here. Before you get into any sort of hype about this, the main impact will be the potential of rain, maybe some locally heavy rain and some isolated severe storms. So keep that in mind. High temperatures on Saturday should drop to the mid 80s. Saturday night, we'll go with an 80 to 90% chance of rain here in Phoenix. And then by Sunday, still scattered showers and thunderstorms around. I would say probably through the midday hours. They'll start to decrease by the afternoon. And high temperatures on Sunday. This is, other than the rain chances, which I like, it's just going to be a beautiful day overall with highs in the mid 70s to around 80. Just get out there and enjoy it. Even the raindrops, it'll be worth it, I think. One of the coolest days we've had in about 6 months. So that'll be nice. Monday morning, we'll start the day in the upper 50s to mid 60s. High temperatures warm back to the low to mid 80s as this low moves out. But don't look now. Another upper low will replace this one along the central and southern California coast by Monday and Tuesday. Not going to affect us in the short term or in the intermediate term here, though. Sunny sky continues on Tuesday and even Wednesday, and highs getting back to the mid or perhaps upper 80s. But then look at this. This is a week from today, Thursday the 20th, and that low is going to still be out there. It's going to start to shift a little bit further to the east, maybe an increase in clouds. And yeah, we're still in this Rex block pattern. Look at what we have here as we go out 10 days. This is Saturday, the 22nd. Now broad low pressure here over the southwest. Very interesting setup. We've just been stuck in this kind of Rex block for, well, this will be going on 3 weeks now if this verifies. And so now I'm not going to, I don't like to get into forecasting upper lows a week to 10 days out. But if this verifies, yes, another round of showers and thunderstorms will be possible in here by the end of next week and the following weekend. And we could sure use the rain, I'll tell you that. And the best part about that, too, is, high temperatures would probably be pretty pleasant in that scenario, too, likely down in the 70s. Looking at rainfall for Phoenix. Now, this goes out through the 27th of October, and this is off the GFS ensemble. The mean is up there around an inch, and you got some individual members a little bit higher than that, denoting the uncertainty, but I don't think we're going to see much more rain than that out of this system. but an isolated location, especially over the higher terrain, could really see some heavy downpours. And the temperatures off of the national blend of models. And again, you can see highs pretty warm today and tomorrow, and then lowering a bit. We may not even make 80 degrees on Sunday. Could be. And then highs mostly in the 80s, lows in the 60s. The cooler pockets will be in the 50s next week. That is beautiful. All right, folks, that is going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is back here tomorrow morning. Yes, for Photo Friday. So get your submissions in, groffshow@gmail.com if you want to see your photos and or videos here. And if you want to comment, like, subscribe, share, click that notification bell, that would be great as well. Thank you to all of you that participate in our live chat. We love to see that. I see it's going right now. And you might be saying, well, Mike, how come you don't give individual shout outs and all that? I do read all of your comments. I promise you that, but my eyes are not very good, and so the screen's over there. I'm here. I would have to get, here's an ultra close-up. I would have to get about this close to read it. I see there's Michelle. There's Michelle, my one and only Michelle. There's June Fleet. There's who else is in there? Let's see. You see, it's not that effective for me to get that. I'll have to come up with a way to really enlarge that text. So I can better serve the chat and give you the proper shout outs and all that sort of thing. But believe me, I go back and I read these comments after the videos. So anything you say there, I will see it. I promise you that. Thank you to everybody for participating there. All of your comments. Thank you for all of your support. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion, well, she's right there in the chat. So check it out. It is my one and only Michelle. And yes, you guys be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated out there. I've got our newest addition to the family, Topaz. She is at my feet, and this is the time where she wants some attention. So I could try to get her to come up here and say hello to everybody, Topaz. And you guys have yourselves an absolutely spectacular Thursday.